So as we keep this thing moving, this was a transfer that when it was announced he was entering the portal, I think you and I were both pretty surprised. And that's Damon Wilson from Georgia, former 5-star recruit. And he lands now at Missouri. He was the number 5 rated player in the portal. And it was kind of a head scratcher because he was already contributing at Georgia. 3 sacks this season, 22 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, forced and recovered 2 fumbles. And he was probably going to be a starter for them this year, a program that perennially produces first-round picks at that position. And again, has nothing to do with Missouri here, right? I think it's a good landing spot for him. We have a lot of respect for that program and what Coach Drinkwitz is building, but it just didn't make a whole lot of sense when he entered the portal in general. But Missouri is getting a flat-out stud here.
Yeah, look, Missouri, maybe not with Coach Drinkwitz as much, although he did have some production this year, but just in terms of historically has produced some big-time defensive linemen, right? I mean, you just go down the line all the way back to Alden Smith, the Smiths. They've had a lot of really good pass rushers, Shane Ray. Michael Sam. So they've had guys, Charles Harris. They've had guys at this position. So it's not like he's going to Siberia, right? Even though, of course, leaving Georgia was a bit of a head scratcher given that he was in line to play such a big role. But give it up for Coach Drinkwitz, man. This is a major, major addition. You lose Williams and Nwaneri going to Nebraska, more of a potential guy. Damon Wilson in a similar boat as far as there's more there, but he's been productive to this point. You've seen him in SEC games make plays. He's a little older. So I think if that's the trade, you're coming up way ahead because you still have a lot of upside with Wilson, but he's played in the SEC. He's made plays in big games as recently as this year, as recently as a couple of weeks ago. So he's been playing big-time football and is still ready for that major jump. We thought it was going to happen wearing that Georgia Bulldogs uniform like so many other first-round edge rushers of the past few years. It is instead going to be with Missouri, and I think it's a phenomenal move for them. Ohio State looked like the favorite for a while. They fell off when Missouri made a strong push. You had Miami kind of creeping around off the edges there. I heard Texas was also involved here, but Missouri gets the big win, and it's a team that's replacing a lot, right? Look offensively. You are losing a ton, but, man, I'm getting a little bit excited about what Missouri's got cooking because their quarterback situation, to me, even though it's in terms of positions that aren't settled, meaning like, you look at some teams that have returning starters like a Nussmeier, right? Guys like that, Drew Aller. Aside from the position groups that you're set with your starter, Cade Klubnik, this to me is one of the most exciting rooms in the country with Bo from Penn State. A guy I think has got a lot to show. I think, he would have been very successful at Penn State if he stayed. Of course, Drew Aller staying pushed him to Missouri. We did a whole video on what he can bring. I really love what he brings athletically. He can throw a lot more than he's thrown at Penn State. And then you got Zollers in the mix, who to me is one of the most exciting young players in the country. I really, really love what he showed in high school. He got injured as a senior. He should be fine, but basketball player, really explosive and athletic kind of guy, has a big arm. You got other talented guys in that room as well. So the quarterback situation is going to be a quarterback battle that we think is going to be the most exciting of spring potentially. And now defensively starting to add some premier talent. Also, you added Jalen Catalon, right, the safety. So you get some veteran experience there in the secondary. And now you have a pass rusher who can really do some damage.
Yeah, and just lastly here on Wilson, this is a guy he's not a pass rusher where you say, well, we got to put the weight on him, we got to get him stronger. He's there physically. You see the length here in this graphic, when he's got his arms out wide like that. So this is a future NFL top pick to me, a very, very high NFL draft pick as long as he continues to develop. And I have no reason to think it won't happen there in Missouri.
And by the way, I should mention Sam Horn in the quarterback battle also when I went through the quarterback battle in a prior video. Again, I'm a huge Zollers fan, love what Bo can bring, but Sam Horn, a lot of Tigers fans were in the comments saying, keep an eye on this guy. So that to me, and we did a whole video on it. We're going to revisit it as spring practice comes through. We'll be providing updates from spring practice. So like and subscribe if you're a Tigers fan and want to keep up with the latest from spring practice. I am extremely excited to see that quarterback battle unfold. And look, in practice, they're going to be going against Catalan in the secondary and against Wilson here off the edge. Should be an exciting matchups there in practice.